What's going on, everyone? So, Ghostface is the most important aspect of Scream, right? Ghostface is literally the face of Scream, and you need to have a good quality Ghostface. The motive and the kills and the execution of Ghostface really could make or break a Scream film, right? Because it is very centered on Ghostface, the killer, the big reveal at the end, the whodunit mystery of is it this person or is it that person or whomever it may be, right? I love the elements and the kind of direction that they've gone with Ghostface in the recent films. Been very critical of Scream 5 and 6, but one of the things that I think that they really got right was Ghostface, right? The darker tones, the more brutality, especially particularly Scream 5, right? Like, it was no nonsense. Outside of Tara, Ghostface didn't really play games, right? Like, it's like when you saw somebody, you knew that was it. They were dead, right? Like, they were all kind of sneak attacks from like Dewey to Vince, and I mean even Liv, right? Like Amber, just taking her out, right? So I liked that element. I've also talked about how if you could have kind of like a Scream 6 Ghostface married or merged with a Scream 5 Ghostface, then you'd probably have the best Ghostface ever. Because, like, Scream 6's Ghostface was more, like, militant, more tactical, right? Which makes sense. It was Detective Bailey. And you pair that with, like, the type of kills and just the kind of in-and-out quickness of Ghostface in those kills. I think that you would have kind of this just, like, perfect, like, a Ghostface that can handle their own. And I like that we've moved away, which some people I understand do enjoy that element, but the goofiness of Ghostface at times, right? Like, I mean, so much so, I mean, it's why Scary Movie, and obviously it was over the top, but it had some very, spot on moments, right? Like, and so I like that they kind of, like, Ghostface isn't tripping all over themselves and stuff like that, right? Like, it's just, boom, in and out, killed, done, dead, move on. And so I hope that they keep that up. I hope that they keep maintaining that. But we got a interview from casting director for Ghostface and kind of got some insight and information on how that is approached. And so I wanted to kind of go over that, talk about it. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. So let me know down in the comments below. Diving into it, casting director Rich Delia confirms Scream 7 starts shooting this month while addressing his process for casting Ghostface. I was lucky enough to work on the last two Scream films, so I've had a little experience with casting a few actors as Ghostface. And it's always different depending on the story and the tone. I love Mikey Madison so much. She was obviously popping so big this year in Anora, and she's amazing. And she was someone who really popped into my mind when we were doing, one of the previous iterations of Scream. And then Jack Quaid is such a likable, personal guy that you knew that it was kind of a twist that you wouldn't necessarily see coming. So depending on where they fit into the story, or looking at how I can either mess with the audience's expectations, present a red herring, pick someone that you would never expect, Ghostface kind of fits into each iteration of Scream differently. And so you're looking for however the casting can elevate or subvert the audience's expectations of who that might be. So, first off, I really do like that there is, real thought into hiring Ghostface. Now, obviously, there should be. I mean, that should just go without saying, right? You don't want to just like, oh, yeah, let's make the obvious killer the obvious killer. I do think, I get that, he said Jack Quaid, very likable character, or very likable guy, change expectations into believing that it wouldn't be him. Although they shouldn't have made him the boyfriend then. Like if he was just some other guy, right? But him being the boyfriend, that's always like just through the history of Scream, that's kind of always everyone's first, like, okay, that's the killer type thing. And plus he was just like, he was like Derek 2.0, and it was just like, okay, Derek wasn't the killer last time, so they're probably going to make Derek the killer this time type thing. But nonetheless, right, like, I do like, that he talked about, it varies based on the tone and direction in which they want to go with this Scream film, which could give us some little details on who the killer might be this upcoming Scream film, which I'll dive to in a later video. I want to kind of save that. Plus, some people don't want to play that game of like, who do we think the killer is? So I don't want to end up ruining, because I do think you usually can narrow it down. Like when you're talking about Ghostface, right? There's only like a handful of characters that it could really be. So you got to assume that there's probably at least 2 Ghostface. So you have essentially nearly a 50% chance of guessing Ghostface right at this point, unless they have like 13 people in the film, which this film doesn't seem like they're going that direction. That it's going to be a smaller, tighter cast, which is good, right? Hopefully they get better character development and stuff. But when you're talking about Ghostface, I want to see them kind of continue and maintain the direction they've been on with Ghostface. Like I said, I think that's one of the few things that they've gotten right in Scream 5 or 6, just with the modern times and kind of the way that you want to see from a slasher film. You want it to be darker. You want it to be gritty. You want it to be brutal. Obviously, Ghostface, if you've seen enough slasher films, if you've seen enough Scream movies, you can pretty much figure it out within the first, 10 minutes of the film. Sometimes there's the big twist, right? Like when Quinn gets killed and you find out, oh, no, she's not really dead. They faked it, right? Stuff like that. But outside of that, you're kind of like, okay, it's like these 3 guys. It's basically boiled down to these 3 people. And then you always have, that first person that dies in the first, 10, 15 minutes. So it's like, okay, well, we had 6 people. Well, now we have 4. And so, I don't think that it's as big of a deal as far as the reveal and stuff like that. Some people, it's everything, right? And I've talked about, would you be okay with not having a Ghostface reveal or things like that? And a lot of people are like, no, absolutely not. You have to have a Ghostface reveal. You have to. But, with assuming that the rumors are true, that the upcoming Scream 7 is not going to be the end, that it's just going to kind of be the beginning. Because we supposedly have Scream 8 already greenlit, under development, and then I don't think that they're going to stop there, because, there were rumors as soon as they started this one that this was going to be the beginning of a trilogy. Now that they got Nev back, they were going to kind of do a new trilogy with Nev and kind of go in that direction. So we'll see. I do like the idea of an overarching Ghostface story, right? I do like the idea of Ghostface, even if you want to do kind of a conclusive ending, right? Let's say there's 2 Ghostface that get revealed, you get the answer, and then that moves into towards the end of the film, and then another Ghostface pops up. Maybe somebody dies that you didn't expect right at the end. That could be kind of cool, right? Where everybody's leaving and then the cop stays back or something, and he's just hey, great job, guys, da-da-da-da-da, and then boom, kind of like the Dr. Loomis in Halloween. Was it 5, right? 4 or 5? I think it was 5. But yeah, something along those lines. Point is, right? I think you could do something kind of cool to where, oh, we know, no, it just began, right? Because at some point, I think that they're going to break the mold. At some point, they're going to change it up a little bit, because at some point they're probably going to have to. But again, you got to get Ghostface right? That's the most important thing. If you have a terrible Ghostface or terrible kills or a character that's not great. We've been lucky to have great Ghostface reveals, right? Obviously Billy and Stu, Mickey I thought was fantastic. I still am to this day disappointed with how they handled Mickey. Mickey had the potential to be hands down, far and away, the best Ghostface ever. He had the look, the size, the aesthetic, the craziness, right? I feel like it was just a real missed opportunity. I get that they were trying to, not have you believe it was him by not essentially having him in the movie the whole time, and kind of use Derek as the red herring. But I still wish that they would have done justice by Mickey. But and then even Roman I thought was great. Jill, obviously, right? We've been blessed to have some real, awesome Ghostface reveals and kills and stuff like that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? First off, are you excited for Ghostface in this upcoming film? What do you want to see from Ghostface in this upcoming film? Any specifics? What did you think of the report and what they look for in Ghostface. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.